In the meantime, while Jill is getting some other things settled, for anyone listening to this in replay, if anyone's listening in replay, the show will be starting in a few minutes and you can fast forward past this spot if you wish. And if you are listening to this in replay and you're new to Fireside, there's a couple of things that you can do. One of the things you can do, turn your mic off. One of the things that we are having all kinds of technical difficulties today. But one of the things you can do, we know you're hearing an echo right now. Jill is getting on it. But one of the things you can do is hit the react button and choose one of the emojis across the bottom. You can laugh and you can clap and you can hit party sounds if you wish. And we will hear them and the audience will hear them and all will be good. And I see Dave and Sam. Dave and Sam. Yes. Hi, Dave and Sam. We're a little late. We had a couple of technical difficulties and we're going to get with all of this in just a moment. And hello, Jay. We will go to video in just a few. We have our guest there that's on the stage, Dr. Judy. She's amazing. You got really something to look forward to with her. Just an amazing person. So going back, and hello, really, Charlie, too, and Stefan. I see you also. Sorry, we are starting late, but it's okay. We know we all have technical difficulties sometimes, so that's all right. We'll get over it. We will get over it. You know, I'm afraid to show myself on video without Jill because, you know, the audience just goes nuts when they don't see Jill. So we're trying to do the best we can. So I don't want everybody coming at me because Jill's not sitting next to me at the moment. But we're going to get it together. But again, if you are new to Fireside, there's a couple of things you can do. You can hit any of the emojis across the bottom and we will hear them, no problem. Then we can also hit the react button, choose an emoji and type a comment and press send. And we will see the emoji and hear the comment also. Well, read the comment also. So we're getting it together. Just a moment. Yeah, it's just one of those nights, but we're almost there. We're in the home stretch and we're going to bring up some video of our beautiful faces and we're going to get on it. So just bear with us for another few, I would say seconds, but it might be another, maybe 30 seconds. I don't know. It'll be soon and we will get it all done. We're all trying to do things here at the same time to see whether we can get some stuff to work. And nothing wants to work properly. So we shall see. Say, we're ready? We are ready. I'm told we are ready. So we're coming. It's us. It's us.
We're here.
Finally, it's us. Can you believe it? Wow.
I'm so excited.
But, you know,
this
those
is the
things
first
happen.
time I've actually been excited to be seen on camera.
You know, these things happen. They happen.
I know.
But as long
None of my technical devices
as we
working.
don't panic.
We didn't panic.
We didn't panic. As long as we don't panic, we're okay. But we have a lot of people. We have a lot of our friends in the audience here tonight, and I'm so happy they're here.
We've got Dave and Sam. We've got Really Charlie, and Really Charlie, thank you for saying boo. No, Jill, thank you. We have our wonderful guest, Dr. Judy LeGrand. You're going to love her. We can't wait for you to hear what she does and have you talk to her too.
Yes.
And we have Jay and we have Stefan. So,
hello, Jay and Stefan.
Yay!
They're here.
Yay!
This is wonderful.
What are you getting ready to do?
I'm pressing buttons.
That makes me nervous.
I'm pressing buttons.
Oh, it looks like it's working though for you.
Not yet. We're still trying to make some
I think
things
it's working.
happen, and it's working.
Yay!
Finally.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh, it was working for a second. It was green. But
Okay.
anyway,
Oh well.
simulcast stuff.
Well, since
live
we're
streaming.
yeah,
Anyway.
we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight we're talking about stress, money, and relationships.
I'm gonna talk about that.
Sure, you do.
I don't want to talk
In
about
fact,
that.
I think it was your
I
idea.
don't want to talk about stress. I don't want to talk about money.
Well, let's tell everybody what show this is. We didn't
What
do
show
that.
is this? I
This
think you
is
did.
I'm Right. No, I'm Right.
We don't even know how to do anything. Okay, we're just messing everything up tonight. Let's start all over again.
This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
And I'm Anthony Cordova.
And
Just in
tonight
case you
we
didn't
are
know.
talking about stress, money, and relationships
And
because it was
relationships.
actually your idea.
Was it?
Yes.
Well, at the time, I had some money and I wasn't stressed. And our relationship was well. So our relationship is still just fantastic.
I think it's better than ever.
Yes, it is. But the money issues since I, quit my job,
Yeah, you
I
just
got no money.
You did
I
that.
haven't gotten a paycheck in 2 months now. I've made
It's
no
been that
money.
long already?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Well, I'm still working. And I just picked up
Yeah.
a freelance gig too.
Yeah.
Dave says whenever Dave and Sam are the host of How Was Your Day, which comes on right after us. And they said whenever we have technical difficulties, it's usually my fault. But I always blame Fireside.
Yeah, it's Fireside's fault. Just like you remember back in the day, everything was George Bush's fault. Do you remember
'Cause it
that?
usually was.
Everything. If you got stuck in traffic, it's George Bush's fault. If you got a low bowling score, it's George Bush's fault.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was
but-
true. Everybody played George Bush for everything. For everything.
Well, what do you have to say about stress, money, and relationships before we bring our esteemed guest on?
Well, actually, and I was just joking about being stressed out. I wasn't joking about not having a job, but I'm not stressed out because I don't have a job. I'm actually not stressed at all. I've actually overcome those types of things.
Yes.
Occasionally,
'Cause you used to be driven by money. but
yeah,
now you're not.
occasionally, everybody gets a little stressed, but it's how I react to it now. I identify it, know I'm stressed, and then I will try to change my outlook on the thing that makes me stressed, causes me to be stressed. So that's how I kind of handle it now. So I'm not very rarely get stressed now.
Money doesn't stress me. It probably should, but I've never been driven by money ever. So the way that it becomes, I guess, stressful in a relationship is that I don't worry about money. So I'll go and buy whatever.
Yeah,
And
I noticed that,
we
Jill.
once-
Even like when we don't have money to spend,
But I'm like,
you
I need
buy
that.
stuff.
I need that. I want that. And I buy it.
That's not a good plan. That's not a good plan. Not a good plan. No.
But does that stresses you out?
Well, you know what it does. And
I
now
know
this
the
is
ring. I know the
truth.
$800 ring I bought one time. I know that stressed you out.
No, there's some things. Dr. Judy doesn't know that she's not on mute. We can hear you laughing.
But that's okay. She
But
can
it's
laugh.
okay.
Because
It's
we're
okay.
coming to you. Don't mute yourself. We're coming to you.
But here's the thing, Jill. Here's the thing. Yes, we got past that.
We
But
did.
yet, um, you still do things, especially when we're on a tight budget. So here's the deal, and I know most, but I handle it different because it really does frustrate me, and sometimes it stresses me. So we're
Yeah,
on
he
a.
used to wake me up to ask, "What's this charge? What's this?" Now he doesn't do that.
I don't do that now, but ever so often, Jill just she doesn't go out to the store. She stays home most of the time. So
Online
it's not
shopping.
like I have a heads up ahead of time. Like, oh, I'm going to the mall or I'm going shopping or I'm going this. No, 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 no. It's when that credit card bill. No, and not even the credit card bill because our credit card is that she uses is attached to our bank. So when I pay the bills, I go through and I reconcile, how much money was spent and all of that. But ever so often, uh, I don't know what the heck it is. She'll charge several things almost every day of the month. And
I
she's
do.
just, oh
No,
yes,
I
she
didn't
doesn't
realize I
even
did
know she
that.
does
I didn't
this.
realize I did
She
that.
doesn't know she does this. And most of them aren't that much, but they add
They add
up.
up. Yeah.
$25 here, $30 there, $50 there, $125 there, $200 here, then back down to 150. Then you might see a charge for five. But in a month's time, it adds up to just about as much or half of her paycheck.
Not half.
Oh yes, you
You
see,
mean in a year, or
no,
you
in
mean
a
it?
month.
Oh, you mean an actual one check?
Yes, in a month, you will charge
Maybe.
half of one paycheck of your paycheck. Now, as you stated just a few minutes ago, is that your check is the only one that's coming in now.
You stated
So,
that.
so yeah, you stated that.
Okay.
Okay. I stated that I haven't gotten a
Oh, well,
paycheck. You
yes.
say, but there's still your paycheck.
Yes.
So, but half of one of your paychecks is just gone, and we're
I
tight.
admit
We're
I
on a
wasn't.
tight budget.
I admit I wasn't
So,
aware that I was doing it that
so,
much.
so when I see it, I get frustrated. I'm like, oh my God, we've had this conversation so many times.
But there are things I need.
And like Jill said, I used to just, as soon as I saw all of these crazy charges, and I can't identify what they are, whether they're fraud, whether they're real, I thought somebody had hacked our account, so I'm ready to run into the bedroom, wake her up. Hey, what the heck is this? What's
You
this?
used
What's
to
this?
do
And go
that. Yep.
line by line. But instead, now I take a breath. Everything's gonna be okay. This is what I tell myself.
And it is.
Everything's gonna be okay. Trust in the universe. Trust that all things will be good. And all things still are good. I've stated to a lot of people that at this point in our lives, everything just seems to work. Everything just falls in place. Even when life throws us a curve, somehow, without stressing or anything else, it just falls into place. Everything is good. All problems are answered. All things are cured. Like right now, I feel better in my life than I probably have in 25 years. And I have, throughout those times, sometimes I had gotten very sick to where I couldn't work at all. So things now are really good. So
That's
I
great.
don't complain. So when that happens and I see it, like I said, first I'm like, And then, calm down, let it go, whatever I need to do to get myself back into a better space. So it's been working good. And then I have to even say to myself, see, that's all you have to do is trust. Yeah.
And well, one of the things I do, and I'm getting ready to invite you to video, Dr. Judy,
Okay.
is I talk to Dr. Judy. Dr. Judy.
There she is.
Everyone
hey.
give her a fireside welcome.
Yes,
this is her
please
first
do.
time on the app.
Yes,
And
please.
if you're looking at the fortune cookie copy, which I hope you are, you'll notice that coming soon, she has a show called Mindset Reset. So we're very excited about that, and she could tell us more about it. But I go to Dr. Judy because she's a healer, and I want her to tell you more about what that means and what that means. So what does that mean, Dr. Judy?
So I do alternative healing. So I'm a mind and energy coach. I also have a PhD in holistic healing, holistic life coaching. So I suffered from depression. It started a long time ago when I suffered from depression, and I took all the medicines and all that, and those weren't working. Long story short, I discovered meditation. So I was going to meditation classes, and the classes had other classes and had other classes, and I just got OCD, right? So some people like to drink, some people like to smoke. I was OCD on personal development.
Take another class.
Like,
Take another class. Take another class.
So
That degree, I want that degree. Give me that degree too. Got more? Give me more. All right.
Yeah, so Reiki became, it was like Usui, and then all of a sudden there's something called Karuna, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I had, both of those. And so anyway, long story short, I have like 16 certifications and a few degrees in alternative healing and holistic healing. So it was a hobby that now become my profession, which I absolutely love. I'm constantly working on myself and improving myself on a daily basis. And of course, the clients that I have, you all get the benefit of all the things that I learn on a daily basis, and I incorporate that into my work. So I do a little bit of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and subconscious reprogramming. So essentially, and the benefit adding to that is my intuition, right? So I've been born and raised in intuition and empath, so I can feel things, hear things, see things, all kinds of wonderful things that, back in the day I would have been put away in a mental institution because of so many gifts that I do have. So now I've been able to hone in on them, kind of be like, okay, you can't talk right now, and I'm not talking to you, and this isn't going to happen because we need to look normal. We need to appear normal. So anyway, so it's not like, if somebody asks me, like, if you just came right up to me and I'm like, hey, can you talk to my grandmother, da-da-da? Yeah, no, it's not going to happen that way. But as Jill would know, if something needs to happen, if something needs to be said, that message will come through, and you will get what it is that you need. So it doesn't necessarily work where what you want, but it is what you need, especially at that time. So I do work with subconscious mind. So people get confused between the conscious and the subconscious, right? So the conscious mind is kind of like, I like to use the GPS system. Your conscious mind is like, okay, I'm turning on my GPS on. I need to turn left. I need to turn right. I need da-da-da-da-da to get to this new bank, wherever this new bank is, right? Consciously, you do not know how to get there. You need your GPS, right? So that's your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is you no longer need the GPS. You know exactly how to get to that bank. You've been there 50,000 times. So now you're on the phone talking to your friends, listening to the music, dancing, singing, doing whatever. You no longer need that. So this is what essentially I do. So when you get off the phone with me, you may or may not experience, and Jill, you can tell me, because you've actually said, hey, X, Y, and Z has happened. Not everyone necessarily gets that because we are working on a subconscious level, right? So some people are like, no, nothing really shifted or changed. But it's not that it didn't shift or change, it's that they're looking on a conscious level for purple, and purple isn't there because we didn't realize that now we're looking for red because we shifted it.
Mhm.
So it's a curse and a blessing. So it's awesome, right? Because you don't have to worry about it anymore. But in the same sense, if you're looking for a conscious thing, you may or may not see that, just depending on who you are. So with that being said, Jill, so would you like to share things that you've benefited and how you've benefited from working with me?
Absolutely. So, I the first well, I've I've talked to Dr. Judy several times, but the first time I went because I really resented my father. Mind you, I never got to meet my father. He is deceased, but I really resented him because he abandoned my mother when she was pregnant with me. So I went to Dr. Judy, and I didn't know what I didn't know anything that she just said. I didn't know how this was going to work, but I was told by another fireside creator, Maya Shola, that Dr. Judy can help. And in I think what 15 minutes, 20 minutes, Dr. Judy,
Yeah.
she had me to envision like meeting my father and talking to him and what I would say. And there were tears, of course, but from that moment on, I talk to my father every day, and we have a great relationship. We have a wonderful relationship. So I don't know what the audience believes or not, but I believed, and she, just as she was saying, she met my subconscious, and I was able to get over that hurdle. And in the same conversation, I was upset because at the time I was looking for jobs, and for the first time in my adult life, I wasn't even getting interviews. Like most of my adult life, I've never even had to look for a job. But when I did, I always got interviews and no one was biting. Also, the in within 24 hours of talking to Dr. Judy, I had two interviews lined up. And one of them is the job I have now. So, and the other one it went away because I told them I got a job, so I don't need to go further in your interviewing process. To the point where they sent me a survey asking if something went wrong during the interview, but that wasn't it at all. I just had options when I had none before I talked to Dr. Judy.
Isn't that
So, Dr.
amazing?
Judy, I would ask you, since we're talking about relationships tonight, do people come to you um, to ask for your help with their relationships? And if so, does stress, money, does any of that come up? And how do you help them?
Oh, absolutely. But that's kind of a loaded question. We can go anywhere with that, right? So, yes. So I've worked with divorced men, divorced women, single moms, all of that, right? So relationships are probably my forte. There's a ton of stuff of an umbrella of things that we can work on and do. Relationships are probably my forte because struggling in relationships, of course, I've done a lot of research, so I don't have to do that anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
To meet the
Mm-hmm.
perfect person and to meet the perfect. So my one of my degrees was actually I wrote a thesis on unconditional love, and then my other thesis was on can't remember. One was dissertation and the other one was, yeah, they were both on love. It was unconditional love, and the other one was like some like relationships, committed relationships. So that was what my degree is in, actually, how I got my PhD with unconditional love. What's interesting and what I learned is that unconditional love, I don't know if you know this, there is no condition in unconditional love.
That's right.
There's
I
no
like that. I
condition.
like the way she said that.
So, right. So unconditional love is just that, right? So we accept each other for what we are, and that doesn't mean that those people are meant to be in our lives. We can love them from afar. My
Mm-hmm.
favorite thing is I send them to a private island, their favorite private island. Put it in my head. They're having a great time on that island over there.
That's great.
right? So it's positive, it's loving, but they're just, over there. So
Mm-hmm.
for those who can't, understand or grasp that concept, I'm like, I feel like that's a good way to do it, right? So you can love people from afar, you can understand them from afar. I'm really, really big on getting something out, like seeing the silver lining, right? So I'm really good at not only seeing it for myself, but seeing for clients. What is the silver lining, right? What are you going through, and how did you benefit from this? What do you mean? I don't want to go through divorce. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. What did you get out of it? So one client, he was going through a divorce and was afraid to even meet someone, was afraid he's never going to see his kids again, blah, 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 blah. Okay, what's the biggest fear? What is your biggest fear? I'm never going to find anybody again. They're all going to keep doing this to me, blah, 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 blah. I believe it was a month later, he found an amazing person. He's so happy. He's not even sure if he even needs to work with me, but he bought so many packages. Big package. So then now we working on the future, right? We work on, okay, so what are we concerned about the future? That now that he had all of his ducks in a row and all of those things are working out, he got a new job because he left the other job. So he had a new job, right? So we're good with that too, right? Finding people jobs.
Yep.
Found a new job, found a new wife, or not a new wife, a new girlfriend, and his kids, he was afraid he wasn't going to be able to see them, and he's still working in the process with that, but at least he's able to see them. I can see him posting pictures when he sees them and he's with them. And his other concern was, how, with the battle with the mom, how was that going to be with the children, and how are they going to work with each other, and all of that. And so then he actually had one of his children on with me, and I worked with him, and it's everybody has a different effect, right? Some people get really excited, some people get motivated, some people get really tired, and his poor son just passed out. He just passed out cold. He was so tired. So anyway, he had contacted me and he's like, thank you so much. And he's like, I asked if he wanted to do it again and if he wanted to work with you. And he said yes, but not right now. He's so tired. So yeah, I mean, I work with families and I help them see both sides, right? So you can see both sides. What's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? And really work you through that. And if there's something that you're stuck, of course, I have all kinds of tools, right? Fun tools to get people to where it is that they want to go. So if it's a trauma that we want to get rid of, we can go ahead and get rid of the trauma. If you're like, hey, no, my life is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I just want this for my future. That's fine. We'll go ahead and clear the obstacles and the challenges. So you get that, right? And quicker than you would have had you have not worked with someone like me.
Absolutely. Because the way, again, when I first came to you, I had no idea what you did. But every time I talk to you, I just feel so much lighter and clear. Like I have clarity, and not blocks, which is amazing for me. Because, I get in my own way. My thoughts get in my way, So it's amazing how you help me with that.
Thank you. And I really want to stress the clarity and the calmness, because when I say it, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. No, really, that is one of the huge benefits that I think every single client I've ever had is if they don't realize the subconscious shifts, they realize the peace and the calm, right? How different that was from the beginning. I had a client who came to me. She was just badly beaten, physically beaten, and called me frantically on the phone, like last minute. There wasn't, it was just like, hey, I need you now kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I talked to her for a total of 45 minutes. But I would say within 15 minutes, like you said, 15 minutes to a half an hour, she actually forgot, legitimately, swear on my mother's grave, legitimately forgot why she called me, because after talking to me, I actually had her laughing. And then I was like, okay, she's like, I need to pick up my kids. And I go, okay, well, you really should go to the emergency room and have yourself checked out. She goes, I know, I have to pick up my kid and then I'll go. She's like, but I'm fine now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you have any questions before Hey, I was going to ask the audience if they would like to.
Well, you know how I can get sometimes, Jill.
I
So
know,
I
I
wanted
know.
the
I've been waiting.
audience to get a chance to ask any questions they had for Dr. Judy. Like, I, I, I have tons of questions, but I would really love to hear anything the audience has to say.
Right. So, audience, do you have anything you'd like to say? And Dr. Judy has agreed to help somebody who needs help.
In the
Oh,
mean,
they're quiet today.
in the meantime, I guess I'll ask questions.
Yes, in the
Yes.
meantime.
Absolutely.
Well, Dr. Judy, this is actually for those of you in the audience that don't know. This is the first time I am talking to Dr. Judy. I have no history with Dr. Judy other than uh, Jill mentioned Maya Shola. And when I discovered Maya Shola, I said, Jill, you have to go to Maya Shola. You have to go to her show. You have to check her out. You'll start getting up earlier. Like you need to get up. Just go to her
Because
show.
at the time I didn't have to get up.
Yes. So, but you did need to get up earlier. She wasn't. Jill wasn't getting up till like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and she did have things to do that she could be accomplishing. Isn't that correct?
It is.
Yes. So she did go to Maya Shola's show, and that changed her right there. She changed how she was getting up in the morning. She changed what she was accomplishing just by going. And then
Because I wanted to tune in
yes,
to Maya Shola's show. And Maya Shola well, if any of you have been to her show, she's known for just pulling you up.
yes, yes,
So I wanted to be camera ready by the time her show started, which was
and
early.
Maya Shola has many gifts. I'll just say
Yes.
when I say gifts, that things in the other realm where she can talk to people on the other side. She can very intuitive. She can a lot of things she can see. So then I found out about through Maya Shola also Dr. Judy and said, hey, you need to check out Dr. Judy. And Jill did, and it all changed. So I've been sending Jill to everyone else. What ends up being funny is that many of the things that Maya Shola and Dr. Judy tells Jill, but I told you that. I told you that last year.
But I
I told you
heard
that.
I heard it when Dr. Judy said it.
I told you that
I
last
heard it
month.
when Maya Shola said it.
Yes, and but that is the way it works. People, when they're ready to hear, or it just needs to be someone else. It's difficult when you're giving information to a relative, especially a relative, for them to hear it because they know you one way. They know you as husband. They know you as brother. They know you as this and that. So I'm saying all of this, Dr. Judy, to let you know I have been connected to you since the beginning. And we have many similarities.
That's why tonight when you two met in the green room, I almost forgot to introduce you because I feel like you know each other.
So I'm beginning to really do the things I'm supposed to be doing and to let the audience know that on April 4th, I will start a new show called The Soul Reader, and Dr. Judy is going to be my first gift.
Yeah,
Gift.
guess.
See, you're a gift
She
to
is a
me.
gift.
My phone is going wonky crazy here.
But she'll be
So-
your first guest.
So
That's gonna be an awesome
So the
show.
thing is, I'm also an empath, and I'm sure Dr. Judy knows that already. This is
She knows many things.
I've never told her that before, but I'm sure she knows I'm an empath. I knew she was an empath along with many other gifts, and I have other gifts too. The reason the show is being called The Soul Reader is because my specialty is really getting in to a person's soul, who they truly are, who they truly should be, who they were when they were born. And, the world just messes everybody up. So I'm able to tap into that very easily. But when I'm talking about similarities between you and I, Dr. Judy, many of us that have, and I'm just going to say gifts to cover the whole realm for the audience. Anybody that has that woo woo stuff, they think, oh, woo 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 woo. So I too, I natural born empath, born that way, struggled with it my whole life, depressed my whole life for probably 40 years straight. Um, so things like that, severely depressed. Unlike Dr. Judy, I didn't go to school to get a grip on it. I went to the school of hard knocks. And the school of hard knocks is rough. Rough, rough, rough. I had to go through a lot of things to get to the point I am now. Happy, not depressed, no medication, none of that stuff. Because I had to take medication for years and I thought, oh, I'm taking happy pills, I'm good. But as Dr. Judy knows, it wears off. And just talking about there's a lot of things you can do, but you don't mention it because the woo woo factor. And well, I can't tell people I see people over there or sitting over there. It isn't, yeah, that person, oh, yeah, that person's above my head here. And so I understand all of that. Okay. And I understand about Reiki. I used to give myself self Reiki treatments and all of that. And we see we got somebody on the stage, so I don't want to hog the stage. But the thing I am curious about is how is it, because certain people have blockages in them from
Yes.
usually it's trauma with something that's happened in their life when they were younger.
hmm
Now, I'm able to focus on those also,
hmm
but I'm not able to just clear it.
Okay.
I can get them going in the right direction.
hmm
I can help them with that, but I can't clear it like you do. You're like instantaneous, which is amazing.
And
So,
lasting. It
yes, and
lasts.
lasting. So, is there any way you can tell the audience and me how do you focus on that area so quickly? Is it the pain that they have in them, the blockage, or is it something else?
Um, that's a good question. So I think part of it is because I am an empath, I can hone in. So it's not really a cookie cutter answer. Because everybody is different. So, and really it depends on how long you have been dwelling on it, right?
Hmm.
So, if I've been dwelling on something for 10 years, that's going to be different than something that I've been dwelling on for a month, right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
usually, what I like to do on something like a new call or a new group call is working on something that's like superficial, like, the basics, something that happened today or something happened this week. Then you can kind of feel or see, depending on your own gift, the shift, right? Because you definitely will get a shift. What I can't promise is whether or not you notice it, because I don't know if you're working on your conscious or your subconscious mind. If you are in the trust mode, like Anthony, you're in the trust mode, right? So you trust. So
Hmm.
this is going to work for you, and you're probably going to just coast right through, no problem. You and Jill will be like, hey, da 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 da, oh yeah, right? You'll just coast right through it because you'll be like, no, I trust, I believe, it's all good. Also having a rapport, right? We have a good rapport. We have, like we trust each other. We believe in each other. We have a love there. So that helps too, right? So when you build trust and you build a relationship, that helps as well. But so yes, I do focus on the pain, right? Because that's what we want to get rid of. So essentially, that would be your core, is what is your pain, right? And then addressing that and figuring out what that pain is for you, because just saying pain for one person, it could be physical pain, it could be emotional pain, it could be mental pain. It's different, which is why I created. I went from one page with my original class, my original school, to 14 or 15 pages of references that I've created that I have now called the LeGrand method, because of all the things that I've incorporated in it. So I can't just say it's just this company or this school or this school at this point, because I do so much. And then, there's not everyone is okay with the intuition. Not everyone is okay with, hey, your grandma came in and this is the message. Not everyone is okay with that. So guess what? That's not going to happen. If you're afraid of that, there's a wall there.
Right.
But if you're open to that and you're ready for the message and you're like, hey, you know what? My husband just died. Do you have a message for me? I don't know. Let me see. Right? Let me see. Let me tap in. I had someone, he was a friend, of a big group. And I purposely tapped into him because I was kind of surprised that he didn't come to me, because I had somebody else that I was really distant with, and he came to me and he was like, "No, I need you to talk to my girlfriend." I didn't even know her name. So this guy, I purposely tapped into him, and all he had to say was, "I'm sorry." That's all he had to say. That's all. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So, but like I said, if it's not something that you're open to, you don't have to really worry about that, because I'm pretty much like, I hone in on your energy and I hone in. So whatever it is that the energy needs, that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Right. So it's not all woo woo. But I purposely chose and do what I do the way that I do it. So the people that are afraid of that stuff, they can still come to me. They could be like, nope, she's legit. This is what worked and this is how this happened. But
You're definitely legit.
Thank you.
We have a audience member on the stage. We call him Really Charlie because that's the name of his show. He's a creator on Fireside as well. So Charlie, hi.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Great.
We're doing great. We're fabulous. We have Dr. Judy on our stage. Of course, we're doing great.
Of course, I support that 100%.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Would you like to talk to Dr. Judy?
Well, it's kind of a combination. It's actually to the group, to you guys, to the host, to the guests, and my friend Tony is a.
Oh, that's me, by the way, Dr. Judy.
Dear, of course. He's a sincere, genuine guy. Probably has a very small circle of people that he deals with. So as he is a soul reader, he's probably absorbing a lot of things that are within his circle. And though that circle is small, so it's people that he routinely sees over and over and over again. But they may not want to speak with him, or he hasn't got an invitation to speak to him. What do you suggest to him? Who does he talk to? Does he talk to Jill? How does he? I don't want this man to get depressed. But
I will not ever be depressed again. You don't have to worry about that.
He didn't know he was depressed, Charlie.
Okay. All right. That's understandable.
Well, in the beginning, I didn't know. I thought that was just life. That's just the life is. You just don't want to be here. I'd rather be gone, not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how did that, for years you were a truck driver. Mm-hmm. So who did you talk to? How did you talk to? You were by yourself.
That was a good thing. That was a good thing. And being, well, let me explain. Being an empath, I feel people's emotions. Okay. So the more people I was around, the more it would mess me up, because at that time, I didn't even know for sure I was an empath. I knew my father had gifts. I knew my father could see people from the other side and talk to people from the other side, but I didn't know anything about an empath. I knew about mediums and psychics and all of that. So when I used to walk around, I would pick up people's feelings. So if someone was angry, and I don't even have to be talking to them, I would become angry. If somebody was grieving, I remember times where, as a trucker, I would pass a house and just start boohooing because
Yeah.
I feel grief. So someone in that family had passed away, and the person in the house was grieving, and I'm just boo-hooing, going down the road, driving an 18-wheeler, just crying my eyes out. And again, this is before I really learned how to protect myself, how to uh, keep those emotions from coming in. And it took, and like I told Dr. Judy, I went to the school of hard knocks.
Yep.
It took a
Yep.
while for me to learn how to do that. And it's the only reason I can do this show now, because if I didn't know how to protect myself, I couldn't do a show where I'm going to be reading people, because I would keep taking on their emotions and I would be a mess. But now I've
True.
learned how to protect myself. So now I can do the work that I'm supposed to do. But,
Well, what?
40 years on the road kind of helped me.
Good. Good. I got a proposal. All
Okay.
right. Before I leave the stage, I want you to go to Monica's house so we can write a book about her. And I want all the feelings that you express so we can get paid for real. And we'll go from there. But I just wanted to add to the conversation here. I love you guys.
I
Well,
knew
thank
it.
you.
I knew I was getting ready
Thank
to ask
you.
Monica if she wanted to speak, but she's
Oh
there.
my God, Monica
Hi,
is
Yeah.
here.
Monica.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Thank you,
Now
Charlie.
you know I was not gonna let that pass. Charlie, look here, honey. I know you just lusting after me and you want me so bad. And darling, I keep telling you I am here for you.
That's why I play
I'm here
R&B
for you,
music
my
on
love.
Tuesday.
Oh my
Great show, you
goodness.
guys. I'm late, but I will definitely listen to the replay. But Anthony, that's interesting because I did not know that about you. And
Well,
it's funny how I didn't. And it's interesting, Anthony, that like what you were saying, I consider myself to be an empath as well. And I can identify with what you're saying so deeply. That is, I didn't know that about you. But
We thought you
when
did,
did you,
Monica, because you
you were
called him Miss
close.
Cleo one night.
did I really?
You
Yeah,
did.
remember I was talking about your relative in prison. Well, you were talking about your relative in prison, but you didn't say he was in prison. And I said, he's
Listen,
sitting in prison calling you every
Yeah,
10
because I was
years
getting ready
because
to,
he's trying to get money out of you.
and I was getting ready to say, but she didn't say that. But then I was like, oh wait, he heard her
yeah,
say that.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in prison, but his raggedy ass is out now. But yeah, he
He's out
was.
now. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Anyway,
but
you know what,
Dr.
Anthony,
Judy, but
I
that
have a,
conversation was about love. That's what we were talking about.
but I have
Go
a
ahead,
question,
Monica.
Anthony. I'm going to ask you a question, then I'm going to be quiet. Do you consider your gift a blessing or a burden? And then I'll be quiet. I'd love to hear your response.
I can absolutely answer that one. I used to think it was a curse when I was younger, and I didn't know how to handle it. I used to have people walk up to me all the time. I mean, all the time, several times a year. And they would walk up to me and they'd say, "You read like an open book." And total strangers that had gifts could tell me everything about myself because I didn't know how to protect myself. So I'm walking around and all of these people that have gifts could just read me, just everything, because I'm just putting it out there. I'm just wide open, wide open. And the other problem is, and this is unfortunate, and being that I have been depressed, so that is a mental illness. Also, people with mental illness have gifts. Most of them have some gifts. Most of us have gifts, but a lot of people with mental illness also have gifts, and they're a lot
Very
of time
true. Very
pretty
true.
good. So I would attract them also. And I don't have a
Wow.
problem with people that have mental illness, but it can create problems that I was not equipped to handle. Because I got all these people coming at me, that may have big issues more than I can handle. So yeah, it was rough, and not until I started learning how to protect myself and all of that did I start getting better with that. So I hope that
Awesome.
answered the question.
I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're good. You're
Yeah.
an amazing person, and you're definitely a gift to the world. All seriousness.
Well,
So
thank you,
thank you for
Oh,
thank
thank you
you.
for
that's so
That
for
means
nice.
a lot
sharing
to me.
that.
Yeah, no
Yeah, thank you for
problem.
sharing that
Anytime.
because that helps people, Anthony. It really does because a lot of folks, and I think the doctor can attest to that. Biblically, we're all born with gifts. It's just, I
That is
think a lot of
correct.
people never learn how to cultivate it, manifest it, and use it in a positive way because all of our gifts are different, whether it's the gift of compassion or, love or loyalty, kindness, to, bringing peace to people, calm, healing. There's so many different gifts. We all have some kind of gift, but a lot of people are either afraid of it or they run from it or they don't understand it. I mean, I had to literally go and understand minds because I start seeing things. I would see things before they happen, and
Mm-hmm.
to the point where it would scare the poopy out of me, where I couldn't
Yeah.
understand it.
Yep.
And I went to my pastor, and my pastor's wife helped me to understand my gift because I have very clear visions. When I tell you I see things before they happen, it's insane. And I hear God will speak to me clearly. He'll say, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
what? And I listen. And every time he has told me to do something, the most amazing things have happened, even if it's something crazy where it doesn't make any sense, where God will say, I need you to go here. And did I tell y'all about the time that the Lord made me go to walk and the lady was getting ready to commit
Yes.
suicide?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's what I'm saying
Yes.
about things like that. It used to scare me. Now, when guys say crazy stuff, y'all, I'd be like, okay,
He's
Jesus,
like,
give me a minute. Let
okay.
me put my sneakers on. Let me put my
Okay.
sneakers on. And I just go on and do it.
That
I
that
just
is
go and
that
do
is
it,
And that's
correct.
you
exactly what
know?
you're supposed to do.
I talk
Yep.
about spreading love, and Dr. Judy does also. It's all about love and
Absolutely.
unconditional love, and I was told to do that. I was told I'm to unconditionally love, and I'm supposed to have love for everyone, even the people that's hard to love. I'm
You
supposed to
do though,
have
Anthony. You have
some
this
type.
beautiful countenance about you. I mean, all kidding aside, you have a I mean, trust me now, I'm a detective. I'm Prior Popo,
Hmm.
you know, and
That's
I,
right.
used to be a police officer, currently a private detective. So my discernment and intuition literally has to save my life because if I'm in dangerous
Mm-hmm.
situations,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I have to rely on that. But you have this very unusual a calm and a peace about you, Anthony, that I've never seen in another man before, ever,
Well, thank
ever.
you. That means a lot to
But I
me.
think it's a gift. I think it's a gift.
It
I
is a
really, really
gift.
do. I think it's an
It
amazing
it
gift.
it is a gift. It absolutely is a gift. Because 20 years ago, I was not like this. I
Yeah, you
Wow.
wasn't.
hardly. Well, 2
I
years ago,
wasn't.
you didn't tell very many people.
But I'm sure I'd love to bring Dr. Judy into the conversation, and we're talking about love. I have told people that I love them, somebody that was hurting, not romantic love, just I love them for being a human being, for who they are, and I get hatred back towards me, um, because they don't want anybody to tell them they love them. It's painful to them, um, and I know and for different people it's different things. I understand that.
And we have
Um,
a person on stage who has questions.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Judy, Dr. Judy, do you have any comment on that with people when you're trying to spread love and instead it just angers them?
So there's a few things that came up even like with Monica too that I wanted to piggyback on. So I do teach empowerment. So as far as your gifts and stuff are concerned, for those of you who want to learn your gifts, working with me is going to amplify that. So whatever it is that you have, but it's also going to make you stronger and more confident. So me being an empath, and like Anthony was mentioning, yes, before, it is, you think it's a curse, right? Because all of these things happen and you know all these things, but when you hone in on it is an absolute gift, because then you know you can trust, as Anthony said. You start trusting, you start believing, and then you start to move forward, and all these wonderful things happen. You start getting, bare minimum princess parking. I call it princess. I'm a girl, right? So I get princess parking, right? A man will get, prince parking, whatever you want to call it. Some people, but that's the bare minimum, or all green lights, right? So that's when you start seeing those things and you're like, okay, I'm in alignment. What does alignment mean? It means everything's going to go okay. Everything's going to be okay today, right? That's what that means, right? And so my vibration and my frequency, everything is matching up. Going back to what you had asked me about the unconditional love. So they do not feel that they deserve the love, right? They have been traumatized and believe, that it's a belief system, right? How could you love me? I am horrible. I am ugly. I am this. I am that. Whatever it is that they believe, right? You don't know me, right? You don't know me. They don't understand. And it's okay. You can still send them love or send them to the island. Like I said, they can all play in the little island, whatever it is. It's still happy. It's still full of love. And who doesn't want to go on a private island? You can have everything you want, right? Everything you want. It's beautiful. You want air conditioning? Go inside. It's wonderful. So, but going back to that, how could you love me, right? So there's all different kinds of love, and we're taught, especially with my degree in unconditional love, it's the Jesus kind of love, right? It's the unconditional love. I see your soul, right? That's literally what you were talking about. I see your soul. I love your soul. I love your inner being. I love who you really want to be, right? I can see who you want to be. I see your potential, right? So you're not acknowledging those other things because those aren't really real or true. Those are beliefs, right? I believe I am this or I am that, right? So that's where that comes from. And so for me, I would send them white light. I would send them energy. I would wish them well, send positive thoughts. I maybe if I was mad, have to cancel what I had just said, and then send them to the island. I'm still human. I'm still human. We still have those like, ooh, right? Why is it better to do that? But still sending them that energy, because the thing is I believe in karma. So whatever I'm sending to you, I'm going to get back, and it may not be from you. It may be from somebody else. And let me tell you, I have to tell you my McDonald's story. So I have full intentions in the morning. I'm going to Starbucks. I'm going to get my tea, and I have full intentions of paying it forward. I'm going to pay it forward. Whoever's in behind me, I'm going to pay it forward. I'm going to pay for their stuff. I get to Starbucks. I get to the window. I forget because I know the people and I'm chit-chatting. I literally forget. The moment I drive by off the window, I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. Why did I just do that? So now I'm down on it. Why did I do that? I wanted to pay it forward. Well, I had to go to McDonald's to pick something up for my father. So I went and I'm like, okay, I got a second chance. I'm going to do this at McDonald's. So I go to McDonald's. Same thing happens. I forget. Just forgot. I'm like, how can I do that twice in a row? The whole point of me going was to do this. So they don't have my food, so I have to wait for it. The guy gives me my food. I don't even remember to give him a tip. Thankfully, the guy comes back out to give somebody else their food, and I give him a tip. I'm like, okay, I redeemed myself. It's not really what I wanted to do, but at least I redeemed myself, right? So I'm like, okay. I get home. Do you know my order was messed up? My order was never messed up. Why was my order messed up? Because I made an agreement with the universe or God, whatever you want to call it. I made an agreement I was going to do this and I didn't do it. And it was immediate that I got it back. So when you're in alignment, you get smacked a little bit faster. Right?
Right.
That's right.
Right? So, which is fine. So, of course, I went ahead and I did it, the next day or another day, right? So I did it, and then everything's fine, and then you go back into alignment. But that is how it happens. Is crazy or off the wall as you may think, that is really what happens.
Yes.
That's
Well,
Absolutely.
we have Mark on the stage, and he said he had questions. Mark, you were on the stage. Did you have questions for Dr. Judy?
I just got a question for you guys. Period.
Okay.
I I I don't tell a lot of people. Not a lot of people know in my family, but I can actually talk to family members from the past. I can talk to Native Americans because I am half Cherokee, and I have Indians coming to me, and I talk to them. I talk to people in the past, and I can feel people's pain, especially my wife's. I mean, it's sometimes to the point where I can't even move. Uh, my question to you is this something I want to share with my family? Because, they already think I'm crazy. And only person who knows is my wife. She's the only person I ever tell. Because her mom comes and talks to me every once in a while. I will hear her mom holler my name in the middle of my sleep. And I say, what? And all she says is, hey, keep an eye on my daughter. Keep an eye on my husband. And sometimes to me, I want to tell my father-in-law, but he is very religious. He does not believe in it. My question to you is, should I tell him or should I not? Because I'm very religious too. I'm a man of God. And the powers have gotten to me, well, I call them powers. So I know they should be called that. Have gotten stronger since I came legally blind 3 years ago. And Dave and Sam can tell you, I'm not joking about being blind or anything like that. But the stuff has gotten so bad that I'm overwhelmed at night that I don't sleep anymore, and I start a job next week. So how can I tell them to shut up and let me sleep?
I'm not laughing because I just
No, you're
talked
fine.
to
You're
a
fine.
medium about that, about all of these people coming to me at night nonstop. So I just talked. So I really want Dr. Judy to answer you first, and then I'm going to follow up if you don't mind, Mark.
no
That's
problem.
fine.
So I personally would not, especially after what you just said. I would not. How I handle it personally, and I have a follow up with this too. What do they believe in dreams?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I had a dream, X, Y, and Z. They don't need to know that it's a premonition.
Okay.
Okay. So I had a dream, and you let them interpret it how they want to. Like, hey, I had this dream and it's reoccurring, and I just thought I'd let you know. You're just going to share it like that, especially because you don't need the backlash, right? You don't need the
Yeah.
negative. Oh, da da da. Right? That's not really necessary. What is necessary is if you have a message, right? If there is a message that needs to be conveyed, then I had a dream, this is what was said, and let them do what they need to do with the information. I've had to do that many times where I've said I had a dream, and then they're either crying or thank you so much or whatever, right? If I said, hey, they came to me, blah blah blah. I actually had someone come to me. I told them I would tell. Someone on the other side came and told me something. I told them that I would tell the person who's still living the message, and I did not. They came to me 3 times. The third time they wanted to throw something at me, and it looked really weird, and I was like, oh boy, okay, I promise. So I went and I struggled because of that reason, because of the belief system. So I was like, I had a dream. Just thought I'd let you know. And it was well received at that point. And then they never visited me again, and it was fine. But I would recommend protecting yourself, but also making it known, right? So I had mentioned in the earlier of the podcast about protecting myself and making agreements, right? Because I was getting messages on a consistent basis all the time where it was like, I can't do this. Like, I had babies. I could hear the baby talking to the mom and saying, Mom, I want my bottle. Mom, I want this. And I'm looking at the baby, and there's no way the baby could have said what I heard. And so I was like, okay, I'm not doing this because this is just too much for me. And I'm not going to go into everybody in every store with this is just not necessary. So that's why I really like what it is that I do. So when somebody does need a message, it's well received, right? And it's
Yeah.
appreciated. So I would look into, Mark, if not, finding a way to making amends or making agreements. So especially before you go to bed,
But the
look, if you need a message.
but the thing is they're not asking me to pass on anything. They just want somebody to talk to. Like, I guess you could say I'm a spiritual counselor for them or something. Because
Okay.
the only one who asks me to pass something on is my wife's mom, saying she loves her and she doesn't like the idea that we're moving. My father-in-law's been in this house for 13 years and we're moving in 2 weeks. And she doesn't like the idea that we're moving, but it's not his choice. His landlord's choice. His landlord wants to raise the rent up to $5,000 a month.
Hmm.
And the guy's nuts. And all she wants me to tell my wife, I don't want you to leave, but I'm staying. I'm not leaving this house. You know what I mean? Because her and my father-in-law, they never had a close marriage. But only thing she tells me to tell him, be careful. He's going to be 77 years old, still a mechanic.
Oh,
And I tell him every day, be careful. Talk to you later.
okay.
So
So
that's the way I tell him what she says.
does it bother you that you're this spiritual counselor?
Actually, no, I love it. Because I learned things about my grandma that no one else in my family ever knew about. Like, I was like, hey, do you guys remember the time in 1948 grandma spit on a police officer just to get his attention? And no one knew that story but them. My grandma never told anybody else but the kids. And my dad's been dead for 19 years this month. My dad didn't like me in life, and he only came to me one time and said, I do love you, but I hate you. But I there's other reasons. I mean, I was too much like my mother, and my mother says I was too much like him. So neither of my parents really helped me. But I did learn later on in life. My great great grandmother was one of the founders of the psychic communities,
How cool is
and
that? That's awesome.
and I'm still trying to find information on her. But the thing is she never went by her name. She went by Angel, and there's so many angels, it's hard for me to find out the right one.
Right. So what I would start doing, Mark, is start writing these things down, right? And so if you create a book with it, if you create a podcast with it, start writing that stuff down because the information needs to come out. It needs to come out of you, right?
Yeah,
And that's I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm feeling from you is that not so much as the information, but it's like, where do I put this? I needs to go somewhere.
yeah,
And so for you, it's if you like writing, write it down. If you don't want to, if you want to speak it, find your recorder on your phone and start recording it. Just do something with it. You don't have to know where it needs to go right now. You just need to get it out.
okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Awesome.
That is excellent information, Dr. Judy.
Thank you.
Now, Mark, I've got something to say to you also.
Uh-huh.
The first thing I'm going to say is you're not alone. Okay. I know you feel like you're going through this alone, but you're not alone. I'm with you. You're with me. All of us that have these gifts are connected. Now we're connected, but everybody in this world is connected. We just know we're connected. See, it's so you're my brother. You're like me. I love you. I care about you. So if you're going through stuff, you know me now.
Yeah,
We can contact each other. And I agree with everything Dr. Judy says. I know I said that already, but everything. You go through what I go through. I go through what you go through. And we really do need people to talk to.
yeah,
Because it's like Dr. Judy said, we got to get it out. We're
Well,
just
you know,
holding it in. We're holding it in. It doesn't mean we have to do anything with that information, but we just need to tell somebody, hey, this happened today. Ain't that a trip? What do you know about that? Whatever it is, we know to love each other. We understand unconditional love. I mean, I even love people that don't like me, that I know don't like me. I still have love for them.
well,
S-
Anthony, you want to hear something crazy? Not only do we have you have the name Anthony. My middle name's Anthony.
All
You
right.
have you have two guardian angels on both sides of you named Anthony who are watching over you.
Oh, cool. I didn't
And
know
all they
that.
say, I can see them. I don't know the doctor can or anybody else, but they're standing over you. They're protecting you. And these men are angels who are God's angels. They're watching you for a reason. And I think it is God's protecting you from something. Because I know there's angels following me everywhere. I should have been dead when I was 16 years old. I should have been dead when I was 18 years old. I flipped a car. I had 1 inch of room to breathe. And I was breathing like I was a normal person.
And you are still here.
Yeah. And then my diabetes got so bad that I came legally blind. My twin brother went through the same thing. But my blood sugars have been so high, they don't know how I'm alive. My blood sugar, they had to do a special blood test to read my blood sugar. I was 1,800 and I was
Oh,
walking like
man, that's
I was
insane.
walking like I was walking like it was a normal day.
Yeah.
And God has protected me so much.
Well,
But
let me,
I
I
tell
I
people,
have to stop you,
yeah,
Mark,
go ahead.
because I'm a diabetic also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Um, I believe, and I'll correct, Dr. Judy can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Dr. Judy can help you with that.
Oh, I'm fine now. Guess what? I went from being a 18.57 last year, and I'm at 6.6. My diabetes within 19 years has been controlled. I found out I was a diabetic the day my dad died, March 2nd.
Okay.
Can
And
I
my blood
interject,
sugar is,
Mark?
Yep.
huh?
One of the things I would like to help you with is stop acknowledging that it's mine.
Oh, I don't claim it no more. You know what I claim?
Yeah,
I'm
but you
coming
say
down
it's
with the
my
healing.
you say my
I'm
diabetes. That's
claiming,
one
I'm
thing that
claiming.
I would say to get
Yeah,
rid of. It's not mine. It's diabetes. That the ownership will alleviate a lot of that. But I can
yeah.
also, as he said, I can lower the numbers. I can help you lower the numbers because a lot of that is stress and food and outside environment.
Yeah, I believe it or not, I used to be about 800 pounds. I am down to 250 pounds. Thank God I didn't gain extra weight. But they said my diabetes was brought on by stress. And they said by this time next year, because I've been keeping my numbers in the great shape, doctor goes, I'm taking you off your medication. He goes, you are coming down with the healing. Because every time I see him, I was like, I'm coming down with the healing. He goes, I agree. Because he says you should have been dead at the age of 25 with your diabetes. You should have been dead. He goes, your internal organs are not damaged. He's the only thing you suffer from it is you went blind. And he goes, that's because doctors would not keep you on the right medications. And the medication I'm on now, they said that I should have been on since day one. And I would not have diabetes at this age. I'm 43 now.
Well,
Right.
congratulations on such an achievement. You should be
Thank
proud of
you.
yourself
Oh, I
for
am. I
to get
am.
that far. Absolutely.
Hey, and Mark, I hate to cut you off, but
You're fine. You're fine. I gotta get to the
we're
show anyway.
already like 18 minutes over in our show.
Yeah.
But I do want to let you know that you can contact me. You can click on the fortune cookie, and
Okay.
you know, and contact me that way. And Dr. Judy's information is there also. But you're not alone. You're not alone. And just
Thank you.
follow what Dr. Judy said, and also stop calling it my diabetes, and all will be good. One thing the Lord has given us is the power to heal ourselves. And a lot of people don't believe that and don't understand it, and that's not possible. And I still recommend that people go to the doctor. I have. But when the doctors couldn't do any more for me, then I had to do it myself. I should have done it myself in the first place. But we get in our own ways, in our own way. That's what happens all the time, even if you know everything. So we're only human. We're not perfect. So thanks again, Mark. I hope
Yes,
to
thank you for
talk to you
sharing
again
that, Mark.
Yes, you're welcome.
soon. Yeah, and really, I would like to talk to you more, so we can do it in this show, or I don't know if you was here, but I got a new show starting on April 4th at
It's
9
Tuesday.
p.m. Yeah, it's
I
on
will.
Tuesday. It's that
I
close.
will be
And Dr.
here.
Judy will be there too. She's
Yes, and
she's
Dr. Judy will be there. It's called what's it called? What's my
the
The
Soul
Soul
Reader.
Reader?
What's it called?
Yes, yes, it's called The Soul Reader. So
And I
yeah,
will
come
check
check
this
us
show out
out.
more
We'd love
often.
to see you there.
I will be checking out this show more often. I will be checking the other show more often because the married couple, How Was Your Day? I am friends with Dave and Sam,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they've been trying to encourage me to come out of my shell, and I'm gonna come out of my shell more often.
Oh, that's
Well, it
wonderful.
seems
Well,
like you're
it seems
doing
like
it.
you're there.
Huh.
So
Well,
wonderful.
you guys have a blessed and wonderful night. And it was nice talking to you guys. And Anthony, you are going to be well protected, and everybody in this room
Thank
is
you.
well protected. And people, more Anthony's have more a sense of their surroundings than anybody else in the world.
I
I
didn't
have
know
been
that.
told that by many preachers. Many preachers have told me that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I will
I
mark
didn't know
that
that.
one down.
All right, you guys
All
have a
right,
good
thanks
one.
again, Mark.
Thank you,
Bye
Mark.
All
bye.
right.
You.
Well, Jill,
Well,
you want to take over? Because I just been running my mouth.
well, again, Dr. Judy, I'm so glad that you joined us tonight. I'm sorry that we kept you almost a half hour longer than we told you we would. But I hope that people understand more what you do. Everyone, her information, if you want to contact her and see her list of services, please look at the Fortune Cookie for her info. She's got her email address and her website there. And again, we didn't even ask you. Mindset Reset. When does that
Yeah.
start? And is it on Fireside?
Oh,
Mindset
yes.
Reset. It will be on Fireside. I don't have a
Yay!
date yet.
Okay.
Because I'm still going through school learning how.
Well, I'm sure that we will all support you when you're ready to start. So make sure
I do have
you.
to have my first one, I think, by the next week. So there will be
Oh,
one
that's
out.
soon.
Yeah, I do have to have it out. I have a deadline. So
Oh, wonderful! I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Well, we'll be there to support you
Yeah.
for that as
And
well.
if there's anything we can help you with before that, don't hesitate
Yep.
to give
thank
us
you
a
so much.
holla.
Yep.
No, thank you so much. You guys are so full of love. I can feel it. I love it. I'm sending you so much love back. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And it goes
You
back
know
to you
I love you.
also.
You know I do.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. It's been a true pleasure. I really appreciate it. So
Yes, this has been a fabulous show. Like I feel great.
I always that's what
feel
I tell
really
Tony every
good.
time
I'm
I talk to
just
Dr. Judy. I'm like, I feel great, and I'm like doing the happy
it's
dance. And
wonderful. So it really makes me excited that I'm going to start doing a show on, what we're talking about
and I'm really excited that she's your first guest.
and yeah,
yay.
and
So again, that's the Soul Reader. That's Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern. This Saturday you have a show,
this Saturday, yeah, Poetic People Fighting Racism.
and you have a
Which is
guest.
Saturday night, which is really Charlie and
Yes,
debuting his latest book of poetry. Absolutely.
that's right.
Poetic Post
So Monica, make sure
Poetic
you come to that so that
Post
you can hear
3.
Charlie read Sweet Nothings.
Oh my God, my heart. Y'all know my heart can't take that. You know my heart can't take that. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna come to
hey,
support you.
Monica.
I'm gonna come. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Monica, I have Charlie's book and I've read the whole thing. And he also has art in his book,
Oh, it's
and
fantastic.
I thought I saw a sketch of you in his
Why are you
book.
telling her that? Oh my
No.
gosh. Why are you telling her that?
My little heart, my heart just went picture
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Love you, Charlie. Love you, my little sugar booger. You have a good week, okay?
I love you too. All right, you too.
She was talking to Charlie.
Oh, I thought I was the sugar booger.
Man, I can't call you sugar booger. You got your woman sitting next to you. Love
All
you
right.
guys.
That's a good one. That's a good
All
one.
right, we love you.
All right. And then on April 15th, Poetic People Fighting Racism will be live from New Orleans. And throughout the day, we'll do some pop-up shows live from New Orleans.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. At least I hope so.
We hope so.
Either way, it's going to be cool. Even if everything goes wrong, it's going to be cool.
Well, we'll have fun anyway.
Yes.
All right. So thank you again, Dr. Judy.
Thank you.
We'll see you again in a few days.
It will be wonderful. Yeah.
And thank you, audience, for all that you do every time.
Yes,
So
and
we
I'm
love
glad
you all.
I'm glad the audience stayed and didn't wasn't afraid of the woo woo.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, not at all. So,
Everybody away.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
all right. Well, that's it.
We're good. We're getting out of the show. Oh my goodness! But I don't want to. I
know you could keep talking.
gotta
See, I
do.
understand. All right. Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music you're listening to now. Thank you again, Dr. Judy. We love you, and thank you, audience. We love you too.
Yes, thank all of you. We love you all as usual. I'm not just saying it. I really mean it. I love you all. We're all connected. So everybody be good, be safe, and don't hurt anybody. And that's about it. And
That's
I think
good.
we're pretty good. I think we can turn well, I might not be able to get out of the show because everything's working weird
video.
today.
And Dr. Judy,
So you can still
you'll
hear
get out
us.
the same way. Well, actually, you don't even have to do that because we're going to end the show.
Yeah, and see the phone. Look, I pressed get out of the video.
I know, and he brought us back.
No, I didn't bring us back. It wouldn't come back. Nothing's working.
So you really
Nothing's
can't
working
get off.
today. No, I can't get off the stage. I can't. Just turn off my video. So everything's weird today. Look,
Trying to hard out, trying to get on.
turn off video.
There we
Okay,
are.
video
Yay.
is off.
Okay,
You
we're
can still
leaving
hear
now.
me.
We're
And
leaving now. I'm gonna
so
end the show.
You're gonna end the show? Well,
Yes.
let me fade out the
Okay.
music or something.
Okay,
Like we're
bye.
professionals. Bye. Love you all. Bye bye.
I ended the show.
Did you? It's not going away.
There it is.